So glad to have you here at 9 News at noon on this Monday. I'm Alexandra Lewis. Flights to one of the most popular destinations in the world, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, have been canceled after the killing of a major cartel leader yesterday. A Coloradan who's now stranded in the city saw some of it unfold.
They said the safest thing would be for us to just go out on the water and hang there for a bit. So we went on the water and we hung out there, and crazy to watch, the town burning and all these cars being set on fire one by one.
Americans now stranded in the city are being told to shelter in place as violence continues to erupt. NBC's George Solis tells us how it unfolded.
Widespread violence at a major tourist destination, leaving chaos at hotels and airports, and some Americans stranded. In Puerto Vallarta, one of the country's most popular resort cities, cartel members burning down buildings and setting cars on fire. The unrest unfolding after the Mexican government said it killed the leader of one of the most powerful drug cartels in the country during a military operation. Mexican authorities say Nemesio Ruben Osuguera Cervantes, nicknamed El Mencho, was the kingpin of the violent Jalisco New Generation cartel. The U.S. State Department previously offering $15 million for his capture. In a statement to NBC News, the White House confirming the United States provided intelligence support to the Mexican government in order to assist the operation that killed El Mencho. Across nearly a dozen Mexican states, plumes of black smoke could be seen for miles, with cars and buses set on fire. The U.S. Embassy in Mexico urging U.S. citizens to shelter in place amid ongoing security operations that include flights to the region being canceled. With sirens blaring at Guadalajara International Airport, some panicked travelers trying to hide, while others fled on foot.
We saw the taxi cabs all blown up and blocking the streets, and people running down them towards us.
American Jim Beck is sheltering in place at his hotel in Puerto Vallarta, which he's visited for many years.
After this morning, it was the first time we actually felt fear.
You have a few days before you're scheduled to depart. Is there a concern that that may not happen?
We're a little bit scared because that's 2 days away that we're supposed to be flying out in the morning, and I just don't know if they're going to have everything opened by then.
NBC Daily News will have more coverage on this coming up at 1 o'clock. Well, the short sleeves will be coming back out over the next few days. Sounds great, but when you really think about it, it's not all good news because it means elevated fire risk comes with this. Let's get more from our Chris Bianchi with our 9 News Weather Impact team who is tracking these warmer temperatures. You said they would come, and here they are, Chris.
They certainly are, no doubt about that, Alex, and those temps are here. Look at this. It is already near 60 degrees for us here in the 9 News backyard. 50s, 60s, Eastern Plains, 30s. And 40s in the mountains. Of course, it is the final Monday of February, and it feels more like April at this point with those temperatures. And I feel like I've been a broken record all winter long, where it's felt like either October or April all winter long. And that's thanks to this big ridge high pressure. You might notice this kind of stream of clouds going up and over Colorado. That is bringing up warmer air from the south and the west and giving us those mild temperatures today. Northeast getting socked by a major winter storm. Providence, Rhode Island, biggest snowstorm ever recorded there, 32.8 inches of snow. That is almost triple the amount of snow that we've had here in Denver, Colorado all winter long. New York City, about 1.5 feet, and Boston closing in on 1.5 feet of snow out there. Here in Denver, though, just a few mountain wave clouds. That's pretty much all she wrote for us here in Denver. And today we'll top out in the mid-60s, already around 60 for us, and a warmer day with temperatures well above average. But tomorrow, we do have a high wind watch for tomorrow with some up to 80-mile-an-hour winds for us in the mountains. There is a new winter storm warning that has been issued for the mountains as well. I'll show you that in detail and get into details on a bit of more of a midweek active pattern for us in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thanks. Let's get you some more headlines. 2 Colorado senators have joined with 2 state representatives for a new bill to restrict data usage for those companies behind license plate reader cameras. The bill will go before the Senate Judiciary Committee this afternoon for consideration. While license plate readers help law enforcement with stolen cars in other cases, this legislation comes after complaints that the data the readers gather is personal and being shared for immigration purposes. We'll have more on the bill's introduction later today on 9 News. Tomorrow, voters in Greeley will decide whether the Cascadia development can move forward. That's the plan for a new indoor water park and stadium for the Colorado Eagles minor league hockey team. The development is planned for West Greeley, just north of Highway 34. According to the plans, not only would there be new hockey arena included in this, but also indoor water park and a hotel, also more housing. But there's a group of residents against the project, and it got enough signatures to trigger a vote.
I think it's way too ambitious. Again, I don't see where it would be supported. You got Blue Arena 20 minutes away that's already established, and it's right off I-25.
There's a tremendous amount of what's called leakage, where people are going to other communities like Loveland, like Fort Collins, and they're spending their sales tax dollars there.
If the voters say yes to repeal the zoning, it would pause development for 1 year while they reassess financing. Tonight, Aurora City Council members are expected to take an initial vote on a proposal to prevent minors from getting a hold of vape and tobacco products. According to documents, councilors will consider requiring a new license for vape and tobacco shops in the city. Vape shop owners say it will eliminate most of their product and critically harm their businesses. But advocates say juveniles are getting their hands on these products just too easily. The state of Colorado is rethinking what it takes to land a government job, turning more skills-based hiring, not just to education. The department reviewed more than 700 job classifications and changed more than 500 of them to remove strict degree requirements. In the past year alone, more than 2,500 applications were eligible under skills-based hiring, and more than 1,200 of those positions were filled by people without bachelor's degrees. State leaders call it a win-win, giving more Coloradans a shot at stable careers while helping government agencies fill critical roles and better serve taxpayers.
In the past, those people may have been on the outside looking in, but now that we're putting much greater focus on skills-based hiring, those people will hopefully see these jobs, seek these jobs, and get them.
Speaking of hiring, Colorado Parks and Wildlife is set to officially pick its new director today. Lauren Clellan was named the sole finalist for the position a little earlier this month. She's been serving as acting director since late December. Commissioners say Clellan brings extensive experience in management, organizational leadership, and military service. If approved, she would formally take over leadership of the agency.